Terraria was first released on May 16, 2011 on PC for the first time and coming to later consoles in the coming years. With its open-ended exploration, crafting, building, and combat in a 2D world, even myself at the time called it 2D Minecraft, with the title gaining more and more popularity over the years, with over 58.7 million copies sold across all platforms by mid-2024. Terraria's core structure is a 2D action-adventure sandbox game developed by Relogic and was later published to the console world by 505 Games, with it coming to all major consoles like Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 and 4, and even getting its own handheld version on the Nintendo 3DS. The criteria I will be basing this review on is as follows: the gameplay and mechanics, the visuals and art style, the sound and music, progression and difficulty, replayability and content, and lastly, overall enjoyment and impact upon the player. Terraria's gameplay consists mainly of crafting, building, exploration, and getting better gear to fight the many different bosses that Terraria holds, such as the Queen Bee, the Slime Queen, Skeletron, and the Twins, but these are only a few of the vast types of bosses that this game has to offer. Also, with there being no official end to the game, many players consider it to be whenever they beat the final boss, which is Moon Lord. Terraria's progression can either be really fast or really slow depending on how much you know about the game and what mode you're playing on. Terraria has 4 different modes you can play on, with them being Journey, which is like creative mode almost in Terraria, Classic mode, which is the standard of all the modes, then lastly Expert and Master, which are only meant for the most experienced player. The music in Terraria is something I would proclaim couldn't be better for this game. Every different biome, event, and boss fight all have their own unique song, with their totaling over 95 unique music tracks that can be found all throughout the game. The sound effects, on the other hand, are nothing special, but I do believe it fits the game genre very well, but not much else can be said on those. Terraria is a huge game when it comes to how long you can play the game. I, myself, have spent over 300 hours on the game at least, and I only ever spent the time to beat the final boss as of recent making this video. I always end up getting caught in the hundreds of different things you can do in this game, like the different events, unique biomes, collecting different NPCs, and building different houses all around the world. But if you don't get caught up on all these things, I would say the game takes around 80 to 120 hours for the average player to complete, with the sheer amount of exploration and bosses to take on. The visual arts and style in this game is inherently clear as soon as you boot up a game of Terraria. The game is 2D, even though it might seem like a 2D game might have its limitations for the art style. Terraria's vast amount of paints and different blocks allow for even the most beautiful creations. Even though the game's main focus is not on building, I would argue that it's one of the most fun aspects of the game, testing your own creative abilities. Terraria is one of my most favorite games of all time, not only for the nostalgic reasons of playing this game endlessly as a kid, but for the sheer amount of creativity you can express in a game like this. Allowing players to express their creativity in new and unique ways is the reason why games like Terraria and Minecraft are extremely popular today. To conclude this video, I would present Terraria as one of the best games in its respective category for the most recent generation for a few different reasons, like the pure effort that went into the soundtrack, to the sheer amount of replayability, to the very unique bosses and art styles found within the game. Terraria's blend of creativity and action makes it a game to enjoy overall by yourself or even with friends.